Did you ever notice that most restaurants don't provide nutrition information on their menus? Well, according to a recent article in Consumer Reports, according to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, by the year 2020, approximately 3 out of 4 people will be considered either overweight or obese. 3 out of 4. That's roughly 230 million people. Restaurants have been partly blamed for this because of their high-calorie menu options that they provide. But I think we all know that when we go to a restaurant, we kind of make our own decisions and can decide on a healthy choice or another choice that's available. In the next few minutes, I'll be discussing some high-calorie restaurant options, some lower-calorie alternatives, and also a few actions to gain some knowledge either before you go to a restaurant or after you come back from a restaurant, just to kind of see what kind of calorie information your meal included. So first, we'll talk about some high-calorie meals. In that same article in Consumer Reports, it brought up about 7 different options at restaurants that you can take, and they were the highest calorie options. So at Chili's, for instance, they offer a smokehouse burger, which has 2,090 calories in it. And at Baskin-Robbins, they offer the large chocolate chip cookie dough milkshake, has 1,690 calories in it. So just take, for instance, that 2,090 calorie burger from Chili's. If you ate one of those for a week, compared to a normal 600 calorie dinner, you pack on about an additional 3 pounds. Kelly Brunell, the director of the Rudd Center for Food Policy at Yale University, said that when people eat away from the house, they tend to eat worse. Most of the reason is because they don't know, what they're actually eating. And she said that when it turns out that they figure out what they're eating, that they're shocked. So I looked at this and I talked to my brother who, like many people, goes out to eat, for lunch every single day. And I asked him kind of how he based his, decisions off of what kind of meal he was going to have. And he said most of the time he just goes there, looks at the menu and says, this looks really good, I'm going to have this. So I told him some of the, high-calorie information from some of his favorite restaurants that he goes to. And, he was astonished, like I think most of us were, especially with that Chili's 2,000-calorie hamburger. And I told him, some of this calorie information, and he said, if that information was provided, he might have taken a second look at it and possibly considered another option. So I looked into this a little bit further. I like Red Robin. I'm sure a lot of you like Red Robin as well. So I put in my typical meal at Red Robin, which is a double cheeseburger, onion rings, and I included a beer in it. And popped it up. This is from their website. You can put in whatever you want. And it popped up. It was 2,400 calories. So that's more than the average person is supposed to have in a day, typically. The next area we're going to look at is some lower calorie choices that many restaurants are offering. And with the health craze, for the past few years, there's a lot of restaurants that do include a lot of healthy options on their menus. The president of Applebee's, Mike Archer, said that if one person in a group that's going out to dinner looks at the menu and says, there's not any healthy choices on here, I'm really looking for something healthy, they're not going to eat at that restaurant. And therefore, Applebee's offers their own menu choices for 550 calories or lower, to give those people the healthy alternative to, the 2,000 calorie hamburger. Recently, they've added, 5 items to this menu, trying to, consider flavor, everything like that. Grilled shrimp with island rice, and there's also an Asiago peppercorn steak. Other restaurants have followed suit with this. I'm sure you've noticed at Wendy's, instead of just getting the French fries as your side item, you can either get, a baked potato, a side salad, or, the mandarin oranges, as a healthier alternative to just your French fries. Starbucks, in case some of you are fans of Starbucks, Alan. I don't know if you noticed, but they are providing, instead of their standard being whole milk in their drinks, they're now offering 2%. It's kind of a way to kind of cut back calories and help people out a little bit. Finally, we're going to look at how you can get some of this information, in order to be a little bit more informed before you go out and, do your dining choices. So, as we saw from the Red Robin's customer, many companies are now doing websites and they have all their nutrition information on it. Red Robin's, you can put in your actual meal. You can go to McDonald's, they provide all the nutrition information, calories, fat, sodium, things like that. Chains like Kentucky Fried Chicken, which has included Pizza Hut and Taco Bell, they actually offer online fitness training, like free programs and everything like that, that offer trial memberships and stuff like that, so people can go there and kind of keep track of their calories and other things like that. There's also websites such as Menu Calc and Healthy Dining, which is actually run by registered dietitians that just kind of focus on the restaurant industry, and they provide calorie information, things like that from your favorite restaurants. And in the next few months, there's actually going to be a federal ruling coming out saying that large chain restaurants are actually going to be forced to provide calorie information on their actual menu boards, if you're going through the drive-thru or on their actual menu that you take to the table with you. So in conclusion, we have seen some restaurant meals that include more calories than you're supposed to eat in an entire day. We've also seen how some restaurants are actually going towards some healthier alternatives. And we finally looked at how you can become more informed on your decisions whenever you go to a restaurant. So hopefully, by the year 2012, 3 out of 4 of us will not be in that number, in the statistic of being either overweight or obese. Thank you.